Hi all, this is the fourth episode in my video series Boss Babes, and I'm here with Julia Schroeder of Start Here Organizing. Hi Julia.
Hi, Sharon. How are you?
Good. I'm super excited to be here. I love you and I love your business. I've known you for I think over 6 years now.
Yeah.
And so Julia's worked through several projects with me throughout the years. I love the way she works and the way she thinks through through the organizational process. And she really does tailor, the experience for each individual person and her approach for each individual person she's working with. And it's been a really huge growth process for me working with you. It's been amazing. So I've grown a lot throughout the process. So thank you so much for being here. I'm really excited, and I'm excited for you to get to share your business with our viewers and what you do with our viewers. So just a little bit about Julia. She started Start Here Organizing over 5 years ago. And it really is her passion to help others. So it's what motivated her to get into the organizing industry. And she honed her craft for over 30 years. And as an executive in the industry, in the luxury sector of the hospitality industry. And she's, aside from, a lifetime of keeping her own home organized, she has cool, really amazing ideas, and it's instinctual for her. And so when I work with her, I really do see that she kind of has this vision, and she has the end result in mind, and it makes the process really great. And it's great working with her, and really kind of helpful to think through that process with her. So she's been here in West Seattle. You've been here for over 35 years, correct?
Yeah.
She was actually born in Sweden, and German is her first language. And she has a really cute golden doodle. Is that right?
Two.
Cute, really cute golden doodles. And she does all these amazing things on her free time. So food, wine. She was a competitive swimmer. All these. She's just an amazing human being. Aside from what it is that she does. So. I'm going to just start with questions so that I don't ramble on for too long about how amazing you are. Is there anything that you'd like to add before we kind of get going?
No, I'm ready. Let's do this.
Okay, awesome. So why did you start organizing? What inspired you?
Organizing has always just been a big passion of mine. It's something that comes instinctually to me. I love to see the end results. I love to see how it really literally transforms people. When I'm working with them, I see a shift in the way that they look at things, and to be able to see their houses genuinely become a home and really be thoughtful and mindful on how we're doing it. And I just genuinely enjoy it. I think that people function better when their homes are organized. I think that there's less stress in their environment. And I really want it when someone comes into the house to be able to say, wow, it feels different. Mm-hmm. So that to me is just super important.
Yeah, and I could definitely attest to that personally. Just kind of having that, having you come in and thinking like, oh, I know how to, like, I'm all right. But like, then when you come in and you really create these systems of organization that really have shifted my thinking just around, like, not just organization, but like a whole system and a whole way of thinking about something. And that's been really great for me. Thinking through that, like, how do you help people that are getting ready to move? I know in the real estate industry, that's like a huge thing. And so, I know you've helped me in that process as well. So, what's that process look like for you?
So I think the biggest thing that I concentrate on when I'm working with clients that are preparing for a move is to ensure that we're not packing things along that we haven't used in years. That is such a huge, huge part of this.
Yeah.
And it's all about the purge. Let's get rid of these things. Let's look through all the crazy boxes that are that have moved from one place to the next place. My goal is to stop that cycle and to really be able to say, let's dive into this box. Let's find out what's in there. People don't even know what's in some of those boxes. So getting in there, opening them up, and really discovering what is still valid in their lives now, as opposed to what they had prior in a previous life. So the purge is so incredibly important.
Yeah.
And being mindful and being respectful to themselves, and it's a very big cost to keep moving these things, these boxes over and over and over again. So the goal is, let's just reduce it. Let's make it so that when you are moving, that the things that you are moving are genuinely the things that you need. And also, when we're doing this stuff, we're also helping the movers or the packers so that things go into the right boxes, and things that don't need to be in the household, maybe it's something that's going into the attic or into the garage or whatever. It helps the movers also to define spaces for these things. So to me, it's just important that we do the purge when we're ready to do the move, and make it less stressful for everybody involved. So
yeah, and you have helped me in that process before, and that was definitely one of the things that I found to be really helpful, the purge process. Also, aside from moving, like when we worked on my closet before, and kind of the idea of like going shopping back in your closet and like finding the things, I've always remembered you saying that. It's been really helpful. So yeah, so moving on to the next question, because I tend to ramble if I don't do that. How do you determine where to start a project?
So for what we do is we'll usually sit down with a client, and I will talk to them. And to me, it's important to have that communication. Communication is key for everything that we do in this process. So I watch people's facial expressions. I watch to see how they're feeling. You know, if I see that they need to take a break, we're going to send them off to take a break.
Yeah.
But what I like to do is I like to determine what I call the hot spot. What is the one room in the house that just absolutely makes somebody a little bit crazy?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to start there, because that actually helps generate the momentum,
Mm-hmm.
and also helps generate which direction we need to go. So a lot of times it can be, it could be the kitchen, it could be a bedroom, it could be something as simple as the dining room table.
Mm-hmm.
Someone just needs to have that dining room table cleared off. That's where we're going to start. Because people always say, well, I don't know where to start. I mean, and they think, well, I should do this and I should do that. But to me, it's so important to say, well, what is the one place that you kind of go and you get that emotional reaction of, oh my gosh, I can't deal with this. I need to have something that is not cluttered in this space. So sometimes it can be just as simple and small as the dining room table, or they might say, you know what, I need to have my bedroom cleared out.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me is also very important, is I call it the nest. I mean, I think a bedroom needs to be a place where it's restful, where people can just relax and just be in their bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
But that is really important, just to make sure that we're starting in a place where they are going to feel some success.
Mm-hmm.
And that is really part of this journey, is they have to have that sense of success. And that's what keeps the ball going and gets the momentum going as well.
Mm-hmm. So it's like just working through each individual, with each individual person through that process, and kind of helping them identify that.
Yeah, and sometimes it also just happens organically too. We may start at the dining room, and then all of a sudden it's just like, then they'll say, well, let's do this. And then they get excited, like, let's go to the next area and let's go do this. So I love that part. That to me is the really exciting part, is when I see my clients getting excited about what's happening.
Yeah, and you really are very intuitive with it in that sense, and really kind of like reading your clients. Yeah, so that's I've definitely seen that. So what do you kind of do to help people stay organized? So I know it's like once you help them get to that process where they've organize the different spaces and kind of work through some projects with you. Yeah, like how do you help them keep that?
So that's a great question, because so often people will say, I just need to be organized. It's like, well, I can go in and organize the heck out of someone's house or wherever it is. But to me, it's important to give them the tools that they need to stay organized, and to teach and mentor and coach along the way. I have people that will text me or call me, even after the fact, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have that, that relationship and that contact with them, so that they understand, if they've fallen off the rails, they know that they can call me and say, I'm feeling stuck and I just don't understand how to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
That to me is important, that I provide them with those tools.
Yeah.
But it's also teaching them that there's zones, and there's a reason and a purpose for everything being in that area. So that's one of where I start with is just the coaching on dividing the house up into different zones and saying, okay, well, when you come into your home, your handbag, your purse, your keys, your wallet, sunglasses, everything goes into one zone so that you are always going to know where to find those things. So those are the types of things when I'm working with clients is, it's not just about organizing, it's about talking about why we put things here. It's about, 21 days to make a habit, 21 days to break a habit. So sometimes, it's like people will say, well, why are we putting it there? It's like, well, it'll make sense to you after you get an opportunity to really start, utilizing that. And at first it feels like, you're bending them and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this. Yeah, you can do it, but just give it a try. And I've had people call me after 5 days and go, oh my gosh, it totally makes sense to me now. I love this.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it's a total mind bender for them. So, the coaching and the mentoring, that is a huge part of what I enjoy doing as well. You have to give people the tools to keep it up and to make them understand that it's okay if you fall off a little bit, but then pull yourself back and just say, well, why is it happening? And that's also where then when I have a conversation with people, we take a step back and go, okay, well, why do you think this happened again? And it's not that we're just trying to find how we can stop that cycle. So if it's something as simple as someone who, can't keep the dishes, in the right area in the cupboards. Well, I've gone so far as to put Post-it notes up on the, so that they know where these things go. Again, that's just part of the teaching and coaching part of it so that they understand this is where it goes. And then sure enough, all the little Post-it notes start coming off because they get it.
Yep.
And it sounds very school-like, but on the same token, though, that's actually what so much of this is all about, is just making sure that they have the right tools and know where to go with all this.
So kind of like systematic systems, like creating systems for people. That makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for me, there's definitely a lot of, psychological kind of things associated with it. So it's an emotional process as well. It can be. And one of the things that I just wanted to mention that I love that you do too is that you work with families, like whole families. So sometimes you'll work with the kids and kind of get the family all in sync. And I think that's really huge too, in creating, an organized space that feels comfortable and systematic and everything just kind of streamlines and flows. So, it's a really amazing thing that you do as well. So yeah, is there anything else that you wanted to add before we kind of close out?
No, I just, my passion is organizing and I love doing this. It's been hard not being able to organize for people in these last 2 months. And I can tell you that my house is pretty darn organized again. So.
Yeah, you're like, I'm organizing. I'm still organized.
But it's been fun too, because I've also been able to really think about how I can help other people, and because I'm working on myself.
Yeah. Totally.
And I think that has been a really valuable thing for me to do as well, so that I can turn around and use the tools that I've used on myself on the new clients that I'm getting. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Like a growth period.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I know, and just for folks, for viewers, so Julia is going to be working again, or organizing again June 1st. Once phase 2 rolls out, and obviously taking all the precautions that the CDC has recommended.
Indeed.
So she will be back in business soon. So thank you so much once again, Julia. I'm really excited to have had you here. And for those interested in her services, I will be putting her information on my page. I'm sure she will, or you can leave a comment for her too. I'll be tagging her in my post. So thanks again, Julia, and I look forward to getting to see you again and working on some projects with you once this all rolls back into phase 2.
Thanks, Sharon.
Absolutely. Bye.
Bye.